A low mark meets high praise from city leaders.
WYFR's Nathaniel Langley meets with Rockford's mayor and police chief, who share what's behind the fewest murders in a year the city's seen in decades, in interviews you'll only see on WYFR.
Sydney, Daniel, fewer homicides than in past years combined with a high clearance rate makes for an optimistic Rockford police chief. Carla Red contends the city's ahead of the nation in public safety.
While we may celebrate internally, homicides are nothing to ever be celebrated. But
that message echoes from Rockford's police chief to mayor.
One is too many, so 12 means we still have a lot more work to go.
2025 saw 12 murders in the city, the lowest since 2004.
We no longer want violent crime in and around our neighborhoods, and we are stepping up and voicing up.
Chief Carla Red notes police track what's behind homicides.
It's not gangs that's leading it. It's not domestic.
Red claims while domestic violence killed 2 people, most of last year's other killings came from general disputes.
They're not working to resolve the issues, they're resulting to guns. I think about our partners, our community partners that are out there working, and alternative programs that have been put in place as well to help mitigate some of these issues.
Police say the city held a 95% homicide clearance rate in 2025. The last reported national average for murders with arrests sat at 61% in 2024.
Kudos for those that are out, the sworn personnel that are doing the work, but also to our community.
I want Rockford to be a place that people want to move to and people want to stay in.
With 3 years straight of declining murders, Mayor Tom McNamara sees momentum for public safety improvement.
It's going to remain my #1 priority because I want my children and your children to be safe.
The mayor suggests 2026 may bring more investments in technology, like additional license plate readers.
That investment not only is good for the safety of our officers and our community, but it's also dramatically helping us improve our clearance rate.
Can't necessarily say I'm looking at implementing anything new right now, perhaps further building up on what we currently have.
Red also shared more statistics appear on the decline as well. She reported between 2024 and 2025, violent crime dropped by roughly 16%.
Rockford Police expects to share its full breakdown of statistics for 2025 later this month. Data typically includes several topics like property crime, robbery, and car thefts.